The new patch has just dropped and nobody knows what to build, so we are here observing the Chinese server, highlighting what you can do and how you can avoid being one-shot. In the bottom left you already see one of the approaches you can go for, and in the early game we have a Lulu and Nami against with a Lucian and Vayne. But what just happened and why did they actually win against Lucian and Nami? Multiple things. Number one, Vayne has lethal tempo, and the damage of a Lulu vastly exceeds the damage of a Nami in a straight up all-in. So you always have to keep that in mind if you just start fighting each other. Now, what happens when the game goes on? Nami and Lucian is quite dominant during the laning phase, so that much is pretty much a given. However, Lulu and Vayne can have a pretty decent early game if they go for early fights. Nonetheless, you need to keep in mind, first off, this is the nerfed Kraken version, this is the PDA version on Lucian, and Lulu is an absolute demon. So, even though she just got these kills, she needs to be really mindful to not just get completely out-traded, because Lucian is still an absolute menace on the Rift. For the tier list, I still do not know what to specifically do, because everything is completely unbalanced, and every tier list that claims to be accurate as of this moment is, lying to you. Anyway, or they just wanted to push out the tier list anyway, but yeah, it's just content. Nice trading here, nice sidestep by the bubble. Lucian is just trying to dish as much damage out as possible, but you see, the Lulu is literally an absolute trooper. But now, let's take this quick break here, and first off, mention the channel in the description below, just check them out. As per usual, amazing gameplays. And what about the items in the bottom left? Why these items? They all feature attack speed, tankiness, and just make life a lot easier. And since you have a Lulu, you get a lot tankier as well. In other games, you might even make the argument that you go for even more tank items on Vayne. Also quite a cute little trick to just use your tumble ability, the first ability, into the wall to reset your auto attack faster. Pushing out the lane here instantly and then going for recall is pretty cookie cutter play, and then she'll invest into going for Zerker Grease. Honestly, I'm so glad, okay, because I wanted to talk about this. Zerker Grease on Vayne look cool, but they are not the best usually, for the reason that true damage otherwise isn't providing you any healing through physical vamp. And if you take a look at the item build the Vayne has, she has no sustain up until the very last item. So having Gluttonous Greaves is so unbelievably important. And Kindra's being open, as you see, and it's already a rough game. Like, we've reached a point in WildRift where there's too many champions that are too broken. You can't ban them all. The Chinese server only has 3 bans per team. So how is this even possible? Look at the spacing by the Vayne trying to just go for one auto attack, now turning around, avoiding the bubble, using the flash to avoid the wave, and going in for some cheeky damage. Look at the damage by this champion now. Beautifully played, completely stomped the Nami, avoiding the wave with the flash, and the Nami used bubble beforehand, meaning that the Nami has no counterplay anymore towards any kind of play by the Vayne, which is very important because Vayne is such a low-range character, and if she gets hit by any of these CC spells, she instantly dies. No more mana for Condemn! Oh no, will this be enough for the Jace to get a kill? Probably not, and we get another kill for the Vayne. The entirety of the team is down here, while the Yasuo is enjoying the 0-10 experience speedrun on the other side of the map, being absolutely camped into oblivion. But don't worry, we are getting stronger. And by the way, the build path for Terminus is quite insane. But most of us completely overestimated the power level of this item because, well, we didn't expect that there would be so much damage in the game right now. There is too much damage, and I really hope they address this very soon, because if you played against a mage or any of these champions, you'll quickly realize that you die from Narnia range, and there's nothing you can do about this unless you're literally scripting, which is kind of difficult on a mobile device. Vayne is scaling very beautifully here, but still needs to be very careful. The enemy team has hyper-scaling champions as well, on top of good CC with the Nami. So if the Vayne is hit once, she might just instantly blow up, so she needs to keep that in mind. Can go for quick little trades here. The Lucian needs to be really careful, because now they lack the damage to actually fight back, with the Lulu and the Nami, with the Lulu and the Vayne being so strong. 3 and 0, being very close to the Terminus completion, and if you're not aware what the item does, so if you auto attack, you alternate between light and shadow auto attacks. These auto attacks provide you with either attack speed, on-hit damage and resistances, or you basically gain pen. The pen the pen component of this build is not really as OP on Vayne as it is for other champions because you don't build crit, but it's still free. You still gain it for free, as well as the bonus on hit and the resistances, and yeah, it's just a nice combination of things. Here we see a rotation over to the Herald play, even though the enemy has already done this. You see the entirety of the teams going here, popping ult early, going in for a play, stunning the Jace here, getting the Jace kill, easily secured. The Kindred will now probably run away, pops the ult very early for whatever reason, gets bubbled here by the Nami, kills the Kindred with a way too early ultimate, flashes after, runs down the Lucian, will get the kill here, and will run down the Nami as well, because you can't escape from a Vayne unless you have any type of CC. And to be like really honest here, the Kindred popped her early, her ult so early. I don't understand why, because it served like no real purpose. Because maybe the fight could have been potentially different if she just didn't do this. So yeah. Terminus now being completed. We also have the ability to go for Trinity Force. Now we have 2 attack speed items. Like, look, we have 2 attack speed items with Terminus and the Stinger of Trinity Force, as well as having a Lulu behind us. Lulu even went for the giga aggressive Mandate build. In case you don't know, Lulu ult is a slow. Like, if you ult someone, the area around you will get slowed. And nice spacing here, expecting the Nami to throw the bubble, and now the Nami splits away to just quickly die, because she'll die anyway, to just make sure that the AD carry of hers will survive. Something many people also don't do. They try to run with their team and then suddenly die, and everyone dies, even though only one had to die. But going back, Lulu ult is a slow, an AoE slow ability, and the moment somebody gets into your range, then Mandate will instantly proc and you will deal a lot of bonus damage. And getting bonus movement speed is also quite neat, so it's quite the underrated combo. Lucian dashing in with a combo here, presses the culling, Jace hit with a EQ from Fog, tumbles into the Hyper Shock Blast, whatever blast, and has to be really careful though. Like, he might get one-tapped if the damage comes too fast, so he just goes from 100 to 0, but now goes into the base. Look at the damage by the Jace. You do not want to mess with that guy. That is just too much damage. Man, I really wish there was a crit Vayne build that would be viable, so you can just permanently reset your second ability and blast. This Jace is absolutely annoying. He is completely denying them tempo on the map and just keeps them locked in place, while also gaining gold while doing so. Trinity Force being picked up 300 gold later than it needed to be, due to the Jace just constantly resetting the recalls. Vayne now going for the bot lane, expecting a potential dive onto the Kassadin, as it seems, because there's no tower in mid lane for them to protect, so there's a lot of time until the minions hit the tier 2. So they go for a bigger rotation down here again, and I think this might be a very big place where a fight could occur. The tower was 1 HP, quickly picking up the tower, now wanting to go away again, but is it going to be a cancel trade again? Is it going to happen again and again and again and again? No. But yeah, if you're wondering how this build is functional, it mainly focuses around attack speed, because of the following multiple reasons. Number 1, the silver darts or silver bolts of Vayne. Every single time she hits an enemy for 3 times, you will deal bonus 2 damage depending on the maximum enemy's HP. Not only this, you also have a Lulu behind you. Lulu gives you a lot of extra on-hit damage, which is like the amount of damage is not important, like not important that you deal, but just that you hit a lot. And you see the damage that Jace just did, like so much, and he was so tanky. Nice sidestep onto the Shock Blast. Now there's a Kindred, we need to be really careful, and the Nami as well. This is an absolute disaster situation. Kindred pops the ultimate, the Lamb's Respite, and goes out. It's a 1000 gold bounty to the hands of the Kindred. You do not want to see this, and this is so painful, because like, you see the game slowed down significantly in the mid-game stages because there was nothing to do, nothing to achieve. And now having these bounties, you get punished for pushing any type of play, not saying that the play was, like, good, but it's so difficult to maneuver because everything you do that is not completely oriented around objectives or mistakes of the enemies will most of the time bite you in the butt so easily. But now we have another rundown situation. The Jace is trying to escape from a Nami, from a Vayne and a Lulu, and that's simply impossible. Red buff? Well. And now the Nami pops the ult, hits Glacial, pops up, The enemy team is on the left side, and like they're completely surrounded here. They need to be really mindful. Aatrox leads the charge, goes for a quick combo onto the Kindred. Kindred in the Lamb's Respite survives the initial burst, goes back into the stealth, utilizing the new map passive here, and allowing the cast into the split push. Many AD carries would have just gone in and be like, YOLO, let's go. But in this case, he learned his lesson that he simply can't do this. If he died, it would have been such a major gold swing again that it's just too big of a risk. You already gave 1,000 gold away with just one death, and you do not want to have this. A little bit delayed of a recall for the Dragon. However, Dragon is not an important objective. They already have one, so they can completely disregard the second one. Even in, like, if you look at this Dragon, it would be a soul nobody cares about, like a mounted soul. Nobody really cares about this. And to be fair, it will not be a game-changing thing. And to be honest, as long as you have one Dragon, you can completely disregard them. Finds the Riven here. Needs to be careful to not get surprised by an onslaught of multiple champions. This Jace still hurts. Do we have a Yumu's Ghostblade Lucian? Bro's cooking. And yeah, regarding the meta, since I stated the tier list a little bit earlier, 80 carries without specific champions by their sides are literally unplayable. Mages are horrendously overtuned. And every Ghostblade abuser that isn't handicapped by the amount of gold it now costs extra is going even more crazy. Like, Pyke was actually buffed with this kind of stuff. Oh no, Aatrox just died to the Kindred. Kindred is getting really, really strong, 2.5 items here. And the enemy is looking at the Nasher. 12-minute Nasher is a very fast Nasher. They have multiple AD carries. Kindred just jumped into the Nasher and they're actually doing this. The enemy is splitting apart, which could be the perfect opportunity for the Vayne to do something. They just go in, find the Nami, knock away the Nami, now go for a Jace. Jace flashes away, and now the Riven is on the run as well. They're all on the run. Big combo by the Jace, but not enough damage. Flashing after the Riven. Do not want to do anything to do with them. The enemy still getting the Nasher, and now the Jace jumped in for a quick combo. Kindred is around as well, but Kindred needs to be really careful, not just instantly die, has to flash over the wall instantaneously to avoid certain death. And they get away with murder by picking up this Nasher so early into the game. It's so squishy, it's so easy to just get this Nasher. It is crazy stupid how easy it is to get it. "12 kills, 1 death, 1k gold given away, and now we just look for more tanky items here. Enemy team has multiple crit users, so Randuin's is not a bad pickup. However, it's also not the most insane pickup. But he desperately needs some HP, so I can understand this. And this will add some tankiness and sustain on top. Theoretically speaking, I think he could even go for another tank item after this, because the Lulu will carry his damage. But yeah, popping the ult early, going in for a play, finding the Nami, popping the Nami into the wall here, going in, taking barely any damage, being too tanky. The enemy Nami has frozen out, as it seems, as you see with the lovely, like, snowflake over you. And now he's just running after the Nami, denying her, and just getting her killed. Now we have a quick recall here with the Jace splitting in the side lane, trying to mitigate the losses his team just incurred. And while the Riven does the same on the other side, they are playing like a 1-3-1 scenario. 3 people died, however, they're getting so much towers on the map. However, the Riven just overstays a welcome, gets a kill, however. And just still, it's a worthwhile trade for the Riven, as it seems. Well, technically speaking, it's not a worthwhile trade, because giving a kill to Kassadin is never a good thing. But for the mental, it's a lot better. A 3rd dragon spawning in like 45 seconds. Completely irrelevant dragon. It's a 3rd dragon. No soul for any team. And this Vayne is trying to just get some extra gold. However, the Lulu is recalling out of rage of the Vayne, when the Lulu could be shadowing the Vayne from Fog of War, making it impossible for the Vayne to die to anything. We have QSS picked up, looking for another on-it item. I'm not a fan. Like, look. Like, now the Vayne is trying to deal more damage, but the question is, like, you as a viewer, do you believe the Vayne needs more damage, or do you just believe she needs to survive and kills everyone anyway? So with this in mind, why not go for another item that makes you tankier? Why not go for a Static Scage, lose 5 movement speed, gain a lot of tankiness since you have 2 HP items? Could be a very nice thing to just generally do. Vayne looks for an angle here now, uses the bubble, Shock Blast comes out, Kindred jumps the wall, pops the ult, instantly one-shots the Kindred, Kindred dead now, turns around in the stealth, tumbles forward, has to go back again. 2 people dead on the map right now, Yasuo and Aatrox, and somebody has to defend the tier 3 on the top side of the map, while the enemy will probably get the dragon for free. If you saw a bubble through Fog of War here, you need to be really mindful. Jace is in melee form for a brief moment, goes in for a quick play, knocks him away, gets denied, Jace in the zone, has 1 HP, turns onto the enemy Lucian. Lucian has not enough damage as of this point to do anything. And we are just hunting down the fish. There's just no escaping. The bubble will miss. This Nami is very tanky, but it's not enough. You just can't escape. And the free kill comes in with the power of these silver bolts. Now they look to pick up this free dragon, getting some extra stats for absolutely free. Never a bad thing to get things for free, but getting your whole team killed over it is never a good choice. Blade of the Rune King now being available in the base, going to reduce your HP though, by up to 100. So yeah, I would have been a fan of Xerx's Gage, especially at this point of the game. Cassin jumping onto a Kindred, being very low. What is happening? Nice ult by the Kindred, nice turn by the Vayne as well, but I'm not a fan of what the Cassin just did. Going after the Lucian, Lucian now exhausting the Vayne. Vayne is completely alone, the Lulu is finally coming around the corner, Lulu buffing him up again. He's kiting, he's spacing so well, trying to just lure the enemy in, going in and out, just not trying to overreach. Trying to mitigate the damage that Cassin has done, using his life as a bait. And it was very well played, playing on the edge, which is so important as an AD carry, but so difficult in this current meta. And if you look at the enemy team's composition, they don't even have this type of mage that completely blows you up from Narnia range. So I would have been so curious to see this game through the lens of the enemy team having a mage. Pops the ult early to gap close, the Jace is on the run, but there's so much damage coming in, everything is stacked now, the rundown is commencing, the Lulu slow hits, and this person just gets instantly killed. This Vayne is so fed, and it's beyond insane how much he can do. But did you just see the damage he took? It's low-key a tank Vayne with a Lulu, and she just, well, lost so much HP in a fraction of a second. Going for a cheeky little play, pops the ult, the Lamb's Respite, and they're just taking down the tower without a problem. 3 people alive on the enemy team, they need to be really careful not to get wiped here, because the Elder Dragon is spawning, pops the Condemn into the Nexus, gets a free Condemn here, the Lucian is dying to him, now the Kindred is on 1 HP, living on the edge here, but now the Nexus doesn't kill him, but now the Nexus does kill him, but they still end the game. With that, we are at the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and obviously check out the other videos on our channel or their channel in the description below. As per usual, take care.